Well, it's Tuesday, and that means it's time for your money. And today, Colin Evans from Evans Financial is here to talk to us about inflation and retirement. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us again.
Yeah, so inflation, I mean, there's no secret that that's happening all around us right now, but how do we plan for our retirement?
Well, and we all kind of got thrown a curveball, especially right when after COVID kicked off, and everything started getting expensive, and it did quickly. I mean, we went through the roof with seeing prices double. So, we look at it. Inflation is naturally going to happen. We are going to see the prices, gradually increase over time. A $2 loaf of bread in a couple years might be $3. That's the simplest way to actually relate inflation. But some of the biggest things are that what causes it is, the biggest one are the demand pull and your cost push. Your demand pull is kind of thinking of when things come into high demand. And a close thing to relate to that is if we think back during the COVID era, when you could see a car dealership and they were all empty. I know, because the cars, they were having trouble getting them. Demand was still going and people still wanted them, but they weren't able to provide them. Then we started seeing, and we started seeing the prices go through the roof. Yeah. When we have a cost push inflation, this is where the actual cost of the goods rise, and when they start to rise due to other price increases, like the cost of gas or the cost of oil going up might going to increase the cost of goods at the store because it costs more for us to transport them and get them into the store for us. Some of the things that we advise that what people should know is, the high thing about inflation is you really do need to plan for that when it comes to retirement time, just so you're prepared for it, because this does eat away at your spending dollars. The same dollar that you have today, next year might give 95 cents and the following might be worth 90. It's slowly getting eaten away, and it's something to really plan for so you have a good idea and you're prepared for that. And it's, the COVID deal was probably one of the greatest ones we've ever seen. That was, we kind of got told, the government told us our inflation rate was running between 8 and 9%. However, we didn't feel that when eggs were $2.50 and then they became $3.50. You're going, wait, that's not 8 or 9%. This is a little bit higher. The same thing happened with milk. $2.50 went up to $3 or $4. It's not the same percentage. Well, we were watching. It's one of the things we actually just pulled earlier today in the food segment. Food prices from 2020 to 2024 were anywhere from 25% increase up to 100, which blows my mind. Well, unfortunately, Uncle Sam decided to remove that calculation of food increase from the inflation number. Food is off of that table, and energy's off the table, and fuel. So when we're looking at and healthcare actually as well, when we're looking at those, so they pull those numbers off. So that's where they go, well, inflation's 3% or 4%. But is it really when food's going up 25, 30, 40%? They pull it off because the numbers sound better, unfortunately, because it doesn't help our pocketbooks, because we're still having that and we're still fighting for that and trying to, this is how we have to pay for things, especially when salaries stay the same. Right. And in closing, one of the things that people really need to pay attention to and think about this is, when it comes part of your retirement plan, we highly recommend, if inflation is a big scare for you, make sure your advisor, your financial professional is aware of that, so you can discuss that so they're prepared to help and guide you in that for the upcoming years, so you're prepared for that throughout retirement time. And you don't have a gigantic hiccup, and that doesn't really affect you, because when you go into the retirement world, you're typically living on a fixed income of sorts. So inflation can really harm, and that hurts people that are on those fixed income dollars.
Absolutely. So let's say someone is maybe not close to retirement age, but they want to go ahead and start thinking about that, but they can't maybe invest as much as they used to. What would you suggest for them?
It's any bit as a start. You have to. You got to put that. You got to put those funds back. And even at being the younger age, the beauty of that is you've really got the leverage of compounding interest, and time is on your side. It's really damaging when you're already there and you're at that retirement horizon and going, uh-oh, now I've got a little bit of a problem. And that's not something you want to say. Well, should you go back to work, or do I have to go back to work? That's not what retirement's about. It's like you need to golf or fish or travel, do the fun things that you want to do, play with grandkids. You don't want to have to do that, and so that's some things that you want to keep in mind and be prepared for through the retirement years.
Okay, and so let's say someone is approaching retirement, and maybe they couldn't invest what they used to, or but you would still say that something is better than nothing at that point. Still.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's better to have a little bit of an egg than no egg at all.
Exactly. Okay. Well, good advice. And I mean, I'm taking some of this advice for myself. And so, Colin with Evans Financial, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us
and
again.
While prices are going up, so are the temps. Let's check in with Patrick.